Welcome to the Ango Show. We are live. To the Ango Show. We are live. There might be a little bit of an echo. We are live. There might be a little bit of an echo on my end, but that's fine. I fixed it. It's all fixed. We are live. What's up, everybody? This is the Ango Show, and today is New Year's Eve, which means this will be the last live stream of 2024. Which means we could probably start off with some announcements and some things that will be happening, which I'm super excited about. We will talk about that in just a moment, but we are live. And
yes, sir, we are.
2024 has been a very, very good year.
Absolutely.
Really excited about 2025. Really excited about what is to come in 2025. And really excited to see this channel grow and the live streams grow and the videos grow. And there's just so much to be excited about. I'm here today with Billy TKO, which yesterday's stream was fun. Today's stream should be even funner. But I think what's going to be even more fun is when we go back to the live post shows starting next week.
We coming back, baby.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about that for obvious reasons. I think it's just a lot more fun to review shows right after they happen and stuff. But so let's start off with that. Let's talk about some things that are happening, guys. If you're here watching live, go ahead and click that like button for your boy. I'd really appreciate it. For the next hour, we're going to be talking about WWE Raw and some things in wrestling. So, of course, we encourage you guys to chat and blow up the stream with a whole bunch of toilet paper emotes or whatever, because, you know, we added some new emotes. But really what it comes down to is next week we're going to go back to doing the post shows, which I'm excited about. With that being said, too, there's going to be a huge emphasis on live streaming on the channel. So if you guys enjoy live streaming, if you guys enjoy reactions, if you guys enjoy that kind of thing, definitely do so. Today's stream does have a super chat goal, which is a new feature that YouTube implemented. And today's super chat goal is only one. So we can hit our super chat goal with just one super chat, which would be cool. If you guys want to support the streams monetarily, you can do that. And if you guys don't want to support the streams, that's completely fine. Shout out to Omer, Real Take Wrestling, dropping the super chat. We hit the super chat goal. We did it. Oh,
what
man,
a guy.
That was easy, bro. Real Take Wrestling, $4.99. Damn, Ango rolling through with a fresh cut. Yeah, you know, you feel me? You know, gotta look fresh and shit. Tonight's New Year's Eve. 2024 is done. We're going into 2025, a new year, new blessings, new, what is it? New year, new me.
Yeah.
So like, you know, shit, dude, I just can't wait to buzz my head again. I swear to God, that's
I
a
thought
big
about
thing.
doing it. I almost did it.
No,
I'm not going to. I'm not. My hair is coming to 2025 with me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
mine's coming with me.
Go back to our like first streams where we
Both had a buzz cut.
Yeah, that's funny. That's crazy. Shout out to Omer for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, dog. I mean, I will say, guys, 2025 is going to be a fun year. It's going to be, you know, I could speak for the live streaming aspect. I could speak for the YouTube aspect of things, but just in general, I have some like really, really big goals for me professionally and personally. So I'm super excited about that. And I know everybody kind of jokes about like the new year, new me thing, but in all seriousness, man, if you guys have goals, if you guys have dreams, shit, dude, get after
Reach for those things.
Get after it, man. Yeah, it's I say this all the time. Like in this world, like time is the greatest currency. You could be $1 million, but what you'll never ever get back is the time that's passed. So, you know, this year is the year where I feel like, I mean, if I'm being honest too, like as of September, we're going on year 4 of me being full time, which is an amazing. That's so awesome. It's an amazing thing, but I just want to do bigger and better every year. So I'm really applying myself this year. I feel like I'm just super excited about that and the opportunity to keep growing and getting bigger and better and healthier. And I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, which is great. YouTube is great. The everything is great, and it's easy. Look, guys, you could look at numbers and they go up and go down or whatever, but I genuinely enjoy this shit. I have a good time with it. I love wrestling. I love everything about this. So we're going to go even harder. Billy is coming along for the ride. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Billy, youtube.com/@BillyDTKO.
No, that's Twitter. It's
That's
just Billy
Twitter.
TKO.
Okay, at Billy TKO. We'll throw that
Twitter
in.
wouldn't give me the Billy TKO handle.
Yeah, Twitter, bro. I want Twitter to give me the @Ango handle, but some dude had it before and got suspended. And then I was trying to go back, Billy. I was trying to go back to @Tango with Ango, which is like my OG handle.
Yeah.
And some asshole has it, and he won't give it up. Like he stole it from me when I like changed it to Ango PW.
Changed it, yeah.
What a dick, bro. I changed it from Tango with Ango to @Ango PW, and this freaking asshole like swooped it, and he doesn't even use it.
Dude, it's crazy because a lot of these people, like the dude who has Billy D or just Billy TKO, like the actual handle itself on Twitter, he hasn't used it in like 3 years.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm like, bro, can you just give it to me? Like I'm utilizing it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Elon had come out before and said like, oh, like all the inactive URLs will basically become free, and then people could just get them or whatever, and they'll free them from the system. But Elon be fucking up Twitter, so
yeah, I mean,
like there's things I love about Twitter, and then there's things I hate about Twitter, so it's whatever. But fucking, I want my @Tango with Ango, bro. That shit was the coolest thing.
I just want Billy TKO, man. It's not hard. Just give it up, dude.
Yeah. Nonetheless, guys, you could follow Billy @Billy TKO on YouTube,
because we're going crazy this year. And
of course, we're going to do a lot of live streaming. The post shows will return for Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then, of course, pay-per-views when applicable. So I'm super excited about that. I'm really excited about what WWE has in store for us. To be honest with you, I think what we are going to see next week, Raw on Netflix, it's going to be one of the most insane episodes of WWE television we have ever seen.
I agree.
And I'm going to give WWE a lot of props, because yesterday I felt like they'd done a really good job of not half-assing the last episode of Raw on USA. So that's obviously really important, and we're going to talk about that. Before we get to Raw on USA, though, Billy went to WWE Live in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena. Over 10,000 in attendance. Billy, talk about it.
Crazy. It was crazy. I mean, number one, it was a SmackDown house show, obviously. But dude, just a phenomenal atmosphere. I got lucky. I was on the floor, so I got to see everything up close and personal. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade had just a fire match, and it was just so fun to see. Just these guys working, the way they work even without TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Michin was there. Michin literally signed every person that walked up to her, and on like the guardrails, she signed everything for everybody. It took her like an hour to get to the back. I was like, oh my God, this girl is sitting there working as hard as she possibly can.
Yeah.
But dude, just a great time. Cody Rhodes is obviously the man. That man stayed back. The people that I went with, they actually got a picture with Cody Rhodes, so they got to meet him and whatnot. It was awesome, dude. Just a great time overall. Steel cage match too for the championship.
What was that like?
That was a lot of fun, dude, because obviously house shows, most of the time you don't expect anything to happen, but WWE has created now like this expect the unexpected. And they did a really good job at making it feel like, oh, there's a chance like Kevin could win the title, and all the kids there, they were just having a ball. You know what I mean? They kicked the show off with the Motor City Machine Guns in Detroit. I was like, what a way to start the show. Yeah, and they got a huge pop. But Cody, it was like after, how Cody like normally gives his belt away?
Yeah.
That thing, dude, when he announced that, he was like, yeah, I'm going to give the belt away. The arena got like louder than the whole show itself. But yeah, no, dude, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun.
No, that's great. Honestly, I didn't go, but I was watching Raw. And then, for me, dude, it's like house shows, I think Whenever you get the holiday house shows, those are the ones that appear to be more fun because I think that's when the wrestlers are a little bit more happy and jolly and like they're trying to have a good ass time and stuff, which is good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think the house show business, WWE is decreasing how many they're doing. So whenever they do bring one, it's cool. Did they announce a show for Detroit, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view?
No, there was no announcement. Cody Rhodes did say at the end, he said Detroit deserves a WrestleMania, and I think we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. They got a big reaction out of that.
You know, damn well Cody be saying that at every house show.
Every single one.
Yeah, you know for a fact, like he goes to like some little town called like Jerrysville or some shit, and he's like, "All right, Jerrysville, you guys deserve a WrestleMania." Big babyface pop, dickhead.
Yeah, no, but he was talking about how he had ties to Detroit too, with obviously Brandy being from here and whatnot.
Yeah. Omer said he said that at Atlanta as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Omer.
Yeah. No, that's typical baby face type shit. You know, the thing is though, there was rumors that Detroit was going to get WrestleMania again. But I think it's going to be a minute because we'll see what happens. But I think WrestleMania 42 will be in Wembley.
Well, we just had SummerSlam too, so I'm not too mad about it.
You know, the thing is, I'll tell you right now, like if WrestleMania comes to Detroit, I want to talk about Raw, but let's get through this really quick because a lot of people don't know this. I had floor seats to SummerSlam in Detroit, and I remember my seats were miserable. Like I couldn't see shit. I had a guy in front of me, 10 feet tall. Like,
oh, dude, that was my problem yesterday.
Yeah, I can't. I personally didn't like floor seats, and it's not the first time I've had floor seats, but that experience, stadium show, floor seats, I honestly did not like it at all. Yeah, like I want to say, truth be told, if I could be honest, if they brought a WrestleMania to us, I'd probably stay home.
Honestly, same. Considering I've been downtown enough times to know what it looks like when it's packed.
Yeah, and Detroit's crazy, bro.
Dude, it was crazy last night. Yeah, it was crazy last night. Nothing was going on besides that.
Yeah. So for sure, if they brought WrestleMania, I'm staying my ass home and I'm live streaming. Honestly,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time. I like
a lot of fun. Man.
Those house shows. I feel like a lot of people have been really just. A lot of people have been very like a lot of praise has gone to WWE for this house show loop, which is
was really good. Yeah. It was really good. It got a lot of, obviously, like the house show loop in general. It got a lot of internet traction, which I think overall pushed it to where they wanted it to be. So overall, I mean, they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. We did get a super chat from Lon Reyes for $1.99. He says, "Hope you both meet your goals in 2025. Stay blessed." Thank you, Lon. Same to you. Same to everybody, honestly. Yeah, like I said, 2025 is a new year. Let that be an opportunity to go and do the things that you want to do and experience. I feel like, we as a society have gotten so blinded by just a repetitive system. Like you wake up and do the same things every day.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's a cycle that like some people just, for me personally, it's like I think I've always been, and you know this, Billy, I've always been one of those guys where it's like I'm just so freaking like when I have a goal in mind or when I have an idea in my mind, like I just go and do it, know. And it makes me excited about another opportunity to do that in 2025 with more aggressive goals and like I don't know. That's why I tell people time is the greatest currency. You never get it back. So
it is, man. And there's a lot to look forward to this year. I just want people to know that there's a lot to look forward to.
All right, guys, we're going to switch it up. Let's talk about WWE Raw. And I'm super excited to talk about WWE Raw for a variety of reasons. But I really, really just want to talk about something that, I don't think it's being talked about a lot.
Okay. All right.
When WWE left Spike TV to come back to USA Network.
Dude, I seen that. I seen it.
I remember that shit in real time. Spike TV was a terrible TV partner because those people at Paramount, they kept censoring every time WWE would talk about being
Another network.
On the USA
He was trying
network.
to say another network.
Yeah, another network. That was the thing. Like they were trying to stop WWE from, like they were censoring it. But you could tell USA Network and WWE have just been great partners. And
Absolutely.
WWE is flooding Raw with like all this advertising to Netflix. But at the same time, too, USA Network is also WWE like did the video packages and stuff for USA Network, which was really cool. And people are forgetting that SmackDown will be on USA Net, like it's going to be on USA Network as well. So even though USA is losing Raw, at least they're getting SmackDown.
Right, exactly. They're keeping one show.
Yeah. So for me, I thought that was like a really cool thing for WWE to just kind of show some love to USA Network. Honestly, like I thought that was a really good idea.
Well,
And
dude, when you've been partners that many years, you think that's something that, and I'm just happy to see it.
yeah. And so for me, I agree. Like that's exactly how I feel. And Raw kicks off with a bang, honestly. Like they kick off with a very, very good opening because we have the New Day and Jey Uso. So basically, like for those who don't know, it's this promo, right? So we have Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett, they're introducing Jey Uso, and then the New Day interrupt. The New Day come out. These guys are getting booed like crazy, bro. Like it's like the most amazing thing that you can ever expect with the New Day.
Go away heat, dude.
People just don't want them on their screens. And they captured something magical with this particular heel turn that I think it was really fun to boo Dom, and it's still fun to boo Dom, don't get me wrong.
But it's really cool to boo the New Day.
I think it's even better because the New Day are just assholes. These guys are
it's like, go ahead.
They're just in denial about being pricks, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, because it's like, all right, you have Big E, who obviously is like the sweetest human on planet Earth, right? One of the nicest guys. And these guys just come out, rip this guy a new one. And they're just like, the people hate it because how could you ever be mean to Big E? It's simple stuff, man. And you love to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now they're the hottest bad guys in town. It's like, cool. And then you see a lot of the stuff that they're doing on the internet, like with the fans handing out coal and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So that's really the thing. And then they have this moment where the New Day, they're trying to talk. And I love this part right here because they're trying to talk, they're getting booed, and then they put their mics down and they look at Jey Uso and they're like, tell him, bro, like we go way back. And then Jey Uso's like, yeah, we go way back, and New Day sucks, right? And then the crowd goes crazy. All of this happens, right? And then he tries to call out Drew McIntyre, right?
Yep.
So this is how they've done, like, and I love this part about WWE so much, and I love this in wrestling is when you could intertwine multiple storylines in like a segment, right?
I already knew you were going to say that because you can.
Yeah, so they do this, right, where he calls out Drew McIntyre, but instead it's Solo Sikoa. He's on the screen, basically interrupting. This is the moment where Solo Sikoa starts to promote the match on Netflix. Cool. I love it. I love these backstage segments, like these little video vignettes things with Solo and Fatu.
Can I give away some kayfabe?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Solo was there last night with us.
Yeah, of course. It's pre-taped.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
yeah. Isn't that the beauty of television?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So they do the video thing, and then Drew McIntyre comes out and attacks Jay. So not only did they get they got, and I apologize for yawning so many times, guys. I have not slept in this past day because
you were up late last night.
I was working, dog. I
seen you in Discord.
I uploaded a video at 1 a.m.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like getting some more work done. It's New Year's Eve tonight.
Okay. Yeah, fair. Get some extra work done.
Why wait until 2025 to grind when you could do it the day before?
Yeah, you could do it today.
Yeah, but no, they have this moment where Drew McIntyre goes after Jay, and then it becomes this really cool thing. I just love it. I mean, they literally threaded multiple storylines at once. You got the New Day being heel. You got Jay, and people forget about the history between the Usos and Jay, between the Usos and the New Day. But I like that. That was a nice little callback, right? And
For
then
sure.
you're pushing the Roman solo thing, and then obviously you have Drew McIntyre and NJ, which becomes official for next week Raw on Netflix. So I'm like super geeked about that.
That whole card is stacked.
It's stacked. It's a WrestleMania card.
Yeah, it is.
And we haven't even figured out, which we could talk about in a little bit, but we haven't even factored in, okay, how do you bring Becky Lynch back? Where do you cycle in Cody and The Rock? How does that go? It's very interesting. So
very
a lot of heat for the New Day, a lot of heat for Chad Gable, who goes one-on-one with Otis. Great match. Gable defeats Otis. My only problem that I had with this is I feel like WWE missed the opportunity to do this months ago. Like the crowd was red hot throughout the entire match. But this should have been before, months ago when it was hot.
I think that's one of those things where we talked about it yesterday. It's just a missed opportunity. Yes, guys. Can you believe it? WWE misses opportunities every so often too.
No, for sure. That's the reality. Fantastic match. Gable defeats Otis. My favorite part of this match, though, Gable literally deadlifts.
I know.
Otis.
I've seen it.
That was.
Don't get me wrong. The match was good. I watched the match.
Yeah, no, it's excellent stuff. I think. Listen, the problem is, did it really hurt Gable and Otis to do this match months later? No, I don't think so. But it's like I said, with like, there's just the right moment to pull the trigger. They could have done this a lot sooner, and that would have been the right moment.
After.
They missed the opportunity, bro. They missed the opportunity. People were obviously red hot for it, so it didn't matter. People still cared. I think what was actually really crazy, though, and it goes to show you how high Chad Gable is on the list for the company. But as soon as Chad Gable wins, like, the crowd is like dunzo. They're like, fuck. Like, they're not happy with that, right? Which makes sense because it shows how over Otis is. And I know WWE probably won't do this, but I'm going to give WWE a hard time for a second. Okay? I understand that Otis has always kind of been like a comedy character. I understand that Otis has always been there to put smiles on kids' faces. I understand what, him and Tozawa and Maxine Dupree like have done, right? It has to be said, Otis has been a fan favorite for a long time, even when they had the stuff going with him and Mandy Rose. I mean, this is not relatively new information. Please, 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 please learn to, whether you move him to SmackDown, he doesn't have to be a freaking tag team guy. Let him go out there and get over as a singles act. You don't have to do some heel turn to make this over dramatic. He just needs to look at Maxine and Tozawa and say, listen, I'm not a fan of losing these matches. This is nothing against you guys. I need to be by myself, refocus. I want mid-card gold. Move him to SmackDown or keep him on Raw. I don't care. Let him go have banger matches, because he could have banger matches. Let Otis get away from this shit. Let him go single. Keep him away from Chad Gable. Let him be a great talent in the mid-card. The crowd loves him. He'll be a great babyface act. And when you have guys like Sami Zayn or Jey Uso getting their ass beat, imagine Otis, who's a fan favorite, comes out to save them. Like, that's what it could lead to. And just by association, you can already make him a top act. I'm getting really sick and tired of seeing him stuck in this comedy bullshit. So for me, that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
He's a serious act.
He should be a serious act, but he hasn't been.
That's the thing, is he should be. He should be viewed as such. I think you kind of hit it on the nail there. I think you have to put him on SmackDown. I think that's the only way we really get away from this, is if he goes to SmackDown. Because other than that, WWE is going to continue on and try to just leave him where he is.
It's tough,
again.
Though.
It's sometimes feel like Otis is one of those people who's just kind of got lost in the shuffle. How do we save him? How do we save him? And because WWE, again, is prioritizing other things. Because we see a guy like Otis, who we know deserves all that time, but we have a guy like Penta coming in who is about to get, so much attention on him. It's like, where do you put somebody like Otis?
Yeah, move him to SmackDown. The only thing is Chad Gable's moving to SmackDown, rumored. That's like the thing. So we'll see.
Again, it's what do you do?
Yeah, you gotta figure it out though. I'm not saying he has to be fucking Intercontinental Champion or something, but like,
not everybody needs a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Not you can have some of these guys, like Chad Gable is a perfect example of somebody who succeeds without a belt. He doesn't necessarily need it to tell good stories.
Yeah.
Same as somebody like Drew McIntyre. You could let Otis be one of those guys that you don't have to give him a belt right now. Just let him go tell good stories.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. I liked it though. I thought the match was good. Crowd was great.
Yeah.
Awesome. They do a really cool vignette for Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. They basically make it known that it's the last time they'll wrestle. So
thank goodness.
Like it's their final thing. Cool. Let's get the hell away from that. I've been very. I don't know if you've seen it, but
with Rhea's injuries, dude.
No, I'm not feeling this Judgment Day. I'm not. This version of Judgment Day is booty. And
let Finn get out of there.
Yeah, no, he will. He will.
Yeah,
he'll be out of there soon. It's already. I mean, they've planted the seeds for that a long time ago, but
of course
they just got to get away from it. It's I don't care. I don't really care about. Dominic Mysterio is a future world champion, bro. And at one point,
if you ask me, right, I think the one way to get away from this is let Liv go with Finn.
I'll tell you right now how it's going to go. Wow. I speculated this months ago. It's not going to be Finn and Liv. I think a lot of people think so. I think that would be dumb. I think Finn needs.
I think if you want to get Dom over as a babyface, that's what you almost have to do.
No, because I think what needs to happen to Dom is he needs to be screwed by Liv, and because he screwed over Rhea. And he then gets screwed over by Liv, and now he's lonely and empty, and people will actually love him as a babyface.
They'll sympathize with him.
For sure. But it's not going to work naturally as a babyface just yet because people are going to laugh at him and it's going to be funny. But like, right. I think Liv Morgan screws Dom. I think she runs away from Dom. I think Finn, when that happens, if he does anything with Liv, it's going to be very short term because I think he's going to go.
Finn's going to go on his singles run eventually.
The demon's coming back, so.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it. I just wonder where we leave somebody like Carlito in that.
Send his ass back to NXT.
Jesus.
Seriously.
I mean, if you're going to look at NXT as a third brand, that's a good guy to go down there and let them,
Even if you're going to look at it as developmental, look how many people could go to NXT. They need some help down there with the men's roster anyway. So
yeah, for sure.
The women are completely outshining them in terms of the main event scene. So, or you could just have Carlito with JD McDonough and I don't know, figure that out. But yeah, I don't know where I see Carlito fitting in 2025, but we'll see. Great video package though. Very, very, very good. Very, very good video package. Finn also mocks Liv Morgan, so that's why I don't think he joins Liv.
Well, see, this is the contradiction that I have to you because I know exactly how you feel about that. I just feel like that is again, it's her mocking. It's almost like a little crush.
Yeah,
right?
I know. It's like brotherly, sisterly love, or like
that's how I view it.
We don't need no more freaking love angles, bro. I'm sorry, we don't.
I don't think you. Well, I guess in that sense, you have to make it a love angle, but just overall, I think, like you just said, maybe have it be short term because I think you're kind of telling that story without even telling it. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know. Am I crazy for viewing it this way?
Listen,
because I feel like other people have viewed it this way.
If we're gonna do a love angle in 2025, you bet your ass it better be the Rhea Ripley and Dominic coming back together with Dom being a babyface.
That's fair. That's fair.
If you're gonna do a love angle, that's what I would do. I would just have Dom and Rhea because
I don't think they will though.
I don't think they will either. But if you want to like make it fun,
you do that.
You do that. Dom gets Liv Morgan cheats on Dom, or Liv Morgan leaves Dom and she used him the entire time, and then basically you have Dom chasing Rhea back, and then eventually Rhea's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do a love angle, that's how you do it.
Have him pull up with the rose in his mouth.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's a lot of good that could come from that. That's how I would do it.
Of course. Okay, fair.
But I'm tired of Dom and Liv, and I'm just tired of the Judgment Day in general. So let Rhea Ripley win the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw on Netflix. We'll see. We'll see how they go about that, man. My eyes burning. We'll see how they go about it though, because that's going to be risky.
For sure. For sure.
Or you could have Liv win. And what you could do is you could have Dom try. Okay, let's play fantasy booker here. I don't have it like well rounded, but imagine Dom is trying to help Liv. He basically almost screws over Liv. Liv ends up actually retaining, even though she somehow retains, and then you could have it where she just leaves Dom right there. Like, you almost cost me my belt. She walks away from Dom. And with Rhea Ripley still in the ring, Dom's right there. He looks at Rhea. He's trying to talk to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley just walks away. She don't care about him. And then you do 7 months on the road to WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio starts chasing Rhea Ripley's love. He starts sending her love letters and apology letters. And then eventually you see him backstage. You see him backstage playing WWE, and there's room service, and it's 25 chicken tenders with ranch. And next thing you know, it came from Rhea Ripley, and love everlasting.
It's adorable. It's adorable. It's adorable. Yeah. I mean, hey, me personally, I think it's too soon to get back with Rhea. I think Rhea.
No, it's on the road to WrestleMania. It doesn't happen until WrestleMania. It's that feel good moment.
Isn't that happening now? We're about to start the road to WrestleMania.
No, it caps. It's going to be months and months of Dom trying to get back with Rhea. Every single week, it's a new segment of Dominic buying her something, roses and whatever. I don't know, chocolates and
Valentine's Day pulls
lipstick.
up.
Yeah, bro. I swear to God, I'm telling you right now, that's the only love angle I would like to watch in 2025. If they don't do some shit like that. Because here's the thing, if Dom and Rhea actually were baby faces together, I swear to God, it would be so fun to It would be so freaking fun to watch. I would genuinely love watching it.
It would.
But I'm not in it. I'm not interested in this Liv Judgment Day version. So I've been saying that a lot lately for like the last few months. It's just.
But I'm right there with you. I completely understand.
Yeah. But great video package. R-Truth is supposed to have a match against Pete Dunne. And basically he's coming out to the ring and Pete Dunne just beats the shit out of him. So I love that. Purely logical. Alone, man. Purely logical. I can't wait for the payoff to that feud. Pete Dunne's got to get in the mix with the IC title at some point.
Really soon, hopefully.
Yeah, so I feel like this is just kind of like a filler while we're looking like they got the Sheamus and Ludwig thing going on.
Yeah. You want to have him be a bad guy? Let him beat the shit out of R-Truth.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's whatever. The match gets thrown out. It doesn't even happen. Then we have Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark in the semifinals for the IC title. Just a really good match.
Dakota Kai looked real good there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the first half of the match was kind of like, okay, right? Then the second half, it's like it just picks up. I mean, people start going wild and shit. So, I think one of the biggest things here is these intercontinental and U.S. title tournaments have been really fun to watch. It was funny because yesterday we were talking about the Continental Classic, and I said something to you yesterday, Billy. What did I say? I said I want these tournaments and stuff I wanted to make stars.
You want the payoff. Yeah, the payoff to make stars.
And the Continental Classic didn't do that, but WWE did that with Chelsea Green. And now it looks like they're going to do the same with either Dakota Kai or Lyra Valkyria. Because Dakota Kai beat Zoe Stark. And then also last night on Raw, Lyra Valkyria beat Io Sky. Which, guys, if you didn't watch that match, go and watch it. Like, really
I've seen one of the moves that Lyra Valkyria hit. It was like that tornado DDT into something else. I forget what she did, but it just looked insane. I seen it on Twitter. I was like, my word, what just happened?
Yeah. Amazing match.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing match.
I will say, I hope Dakota Kai gets her shine here.
I think Dakota Kai will probably not win, to be honest.
They'll probably go with Lyra Valkyria, but
they should.
They should. Me personally, I'd like to see Dakota Kai get it.
Yeah, I think they should go with Lyra Valkyria with the intent of Dakota Kai and her running it back. So
fair.
Good stuff. We had a triple threat. We had a 6-man tag match. Damian Priest and the War Raiders, they beat the Judgment Day. Fun match, honestly. Like really fun. Nothing bad to say here. The Judgment Day did get new music. Don't know why they changed it.
I didn't hear it yet. Was it any good?
I personally like it, but everybody else hates it.
Yeah, I seen Twitter. They were like, "This shit sucks."
Yeah. I don't know. Well, Twitter hates every fucking theme song in wrestling, so I really don't give a shit about what Twitter says.
That's fair.
But what I will say is that all this music that wrestlers get in WWE, AEW, TNA, I think one of the biggest misses is that you don't really know whose music it is until like they walk down the ramp.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with it. It doesn't have that same effect that it used to.
Yeah. We get Sheamus and Kaiser basically brawling for a little bit. That's whatever. Lyra Valkyria defeated Io Sky. Kind of talked about that. It was just an amazing.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. Nah, that shit was fire, bro. I mean, it doesn't talk like when it comes to women's TV matches on WWE television this year. Definitely takes the cake.
2025 is even going to be just as good with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Can guarantee it.
And then we get the iconic ending to Raw with CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I already made a video on this last night at like 2 a.m, so that was cool.
That's what you put out.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I had to talk about it. That shit was legendary, iconic. That's what real wrestling is.
Absolutely.
Seth taking shots at Punk, going to AEW, going to Colt Cabana's podcast. They got personal. CM Punk talking about his hatred for Vince McMahon, but loving the WWE. And, you know, just basically the best way to explain this segment was it was just a masterpiece.
There were just some things that I felt like could have been left out.
Like what?
I don't like the whole. So, okay, there's if you're again, this felt like one that was just catering to a certain audience. Obviously, the old school fans who know the storyline of CM Punk and everything that happened, not realizing that there are people that actually don't know what happened. Like, there's kids that have no idea what's happening.
Okay.
So, with the Colt Cabana thing, if you look back at that, there was no reaction to that. Nobody knew what they were talking about. When you mention the competition and you say the competition, okay, that rings in your head a little bit. Again, it feels like, especially at the live shows, let me just say that it's the live shows where it happens most. Because again, Twitter and YouTube and everything like that, we know what happened.
Yeah.
Right? But WWE or like the live audience itself may not, because a lot of the times it is just the casual fan who probably hasn't picked up WWE in so many years. So I personally just felt like maybe that Colt Cabana line, like I get it. You're shooting on live TV and stuff like that. And for us, it's really cool. But that live audience, they just looked dead. They were like, what is he talking about? Like, if you look back at that reaction, that specific reaction to that, there was absolutely none.
So here's the thing, right? When wrestlers are shooting on each other,
yeah,
it feels real.
For sure. And it did.
If you're a little kid watching that and you didn't know what happened, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Just like when Hangman Page did the same thing to CM Punk in their little promo, you know.
I think it's just the exciting factor. I think as a kid, you can enjoy the excitement of it.
Yeah, I think you don't really need to know the context of it other than the fact that what they're talking about is real shit.
Right, and it's something that matters if you listen back to the crowd even throughout the segment.
It's the forbidden thing. Chris in the chat says, it's real hate between Punk and Rollins. I genuinely don't believe they genuinely hate each other. I don't think they're like bestest of friends anymore. But what I would say too is they've done such a really good job of making me believe that they just fucking absolutely hate each other.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I made a TikTok last night around midnight when I got back. And in the TikTok, I said, I do believe that there was once probably bad blood between these guys. Yeah. I do think that at one point there was some type of hatred, but you have to be absolutely absurd to think that these guys haven't sit down and talked figured things out, worked it over, figured out hey, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do. You're absolutely absurd. These guys are going into business together. They're going to make a lot of money. CM Punk said it. Seth Rollins, I'm here to tell you, wants to make that money too. These guys, they are going in with a heavy, like it's just very, this is the playing field, and both of them are on the same line, and they understand how this is supposed to play out. And ultimately, I don't think that there is any type of bad blood. But back to what you said, yes, they've done a great job at making me personally feel like, oh, they hate each other.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this is a genuine question I'm going to ask you, and then I think everybody else in the community can answer. Why was it that WWE has figured out a way to implement real-life drama? And let's say Punk and Rollins genuinely do hate each other. Why is it that they were able to do this, and we don't hear any reports of them fighting backstage? But then in AEW, they could have never figured out a way to make money. Why? Why was this a situation where AEW, because the reality is that AEW had their drama with Punk and they never were able to sit down together and figure out a way to make money from this. And then you have WWE, who leaned into it from the minute that CM Punk arrived. They literally leaned into the fact that this guy is a cancer to the locker room. And last night, when I see Seth Rollins and Punk, they are making me believe that they genuinely hate each other. Now, is that hatred really true? Does it truly exist? We're not backstage. We don't know.
We're not hearing any reports about it.
We're not hearing any reports about it, and we're not hearing about any issues, which tells me that Punk, at the very least, if they do have issues, he was able to go out there and just do what's best for business. If that heat is legitimate between the two, he was able to show us that Punk could be mature enough to say, go ahead, because obviously, what ended up happening was Rollins took shots at him for the Colt Cabana podcast. He took shots at him for leaving WWE. He took shots at him for going to AEW. He got pretty personal with Punk, and Punk was able to go there. And there's been no reports of any issues between them after this. But for some reason, we hear of issues between him and AEW. It leads to a whole bunch of fighting. And then on top of that, AEW never figured out how to make money from it. And that is the biggest difference between WWE and AEW. And maybe that is the biggest difference for Punk being in WWE versus being in AEW.
So here's the answer, right? When you have a boss, right? And that boss does not give you, so let me just put it like this. Let me focus in here. If I had a boss at McDonald's, right? Say I worked at McDonald's. If I had a boss at McDonald's who sat on his phone in his office, didn't really care about anything, just kind of sat there, twiddled his thumbs on his phone, I would probably walk past him every day and I would do the bare minimum kind of the same way he did, right? But if I go into a job, like a corporate company, for instance, I'll go into a corporate company and my boss walks up to me and says, hey, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. Chances are I'm going to listen to him over the person twiddling their thumbs. Now, here's the next thing. Tony Khan, we always knew, was a fan of CM Punk. That was very upfront and clear. So it's very easy for somebody like CM Punk, and it's, again, it's human nature. People do it all the time. Oh, I'm here. This guy, obviously, and I'm not saying this is what CM Punk did. This guy, I'm here. This guy's a fan of me. I'm just going to kind of do as I please because there's no real direction. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to kind of do as I please. Like you said in the beginning, when he walked into the WWE, there was an immediate direction for him. Mm-hmm. When it came to everything else, we talked about, I remember a couple years ago, it might have been right before he left AEW, the talk of like, oh yeah, you can do Punk and Omega at All In. And the fact like AEW never capitalized on something like that is sickening. But the moment he walked back into WWE, you immediately get him and Rollins. Immediately, because you knew that is the match that people wanted to see. Because every time people fantasy book, who did they fantasy book with? Roman or Rollins, because we know the storyline. We know how that all played out. We know the Shield members, right? So overall, I think, again, it goes back to just one simple thing of Tony Khan is a fan of pro wrestling and not a boss. he doesn't know how to be a boss of pro wrestling just yet. Floor is yours.
I think that's a fair point. I think if you really want to look at the differences between WWE and AEW, this perfectly summarizes the truest differences. Forget about booking, forget about Tony Khan's decision making, forget about the sickos, forget about all of that, right? Let's just specifically talk about the nature of the business and how they view the business. WWE figured out how to capitalize money off of CM Punk's being a cancer in the locker room and that reputation. And what AEW did instead was drive him away. And they did so because, sure, maybe there was reported backstage fights. Maybe there was a lot of drama. There was a whole bunch of leaks, whatever it may be. WWE was focused immediately on CM Punk coming in. And I mean, you could tell from the reactions of Drew and Seth and everybody, it was very clear that they can capitalize on that. And I think WWE has done a really good job in 2024 capitalizing on that. It led to an amazing storyline with Drew McIntyre, which then ultimately got personal. Then it finally led to the seeds being planted between him and Seth. And then we get the face-to-face. And listen, at the end of the day, WWE's mentality is let's figure out a way to make money. And I think AEW's mentality was let's figure out a way to get him out of the company. And maybe CM Punk didn't want to be in AEW, and that's completely fine. But obviously, when you look at the two companies, there is a huge difference. WWE's focus was making the money and trying to capitalize off of it. AEW's focus was let's drive him away. And by driving him away, what did they do? They lost even more potential to make money. They alienated an audience. And I know this is going to really bother the sickos. This is going to bother the sickos to their very core. But I remember when I made those videos and live streams of CM Punk coming to WWE, I was met with a lot of comments from people that said, he's going to fight in WWE. He's going to be a cancer in their locker room. Guys, CM Punk was never going to do that because he knew at the end of the day it would be his last straw. So at the end of the day, what ended up happening was when the decision was made for Punk to say, I am going to get everything in line and I'm going to work with these guys and we're going to make money regardless of feelings, right? I think there was a true essence to that. And I think AEW could have done the same thing with Punk if everybody sat down, but nobody sat down with him. They didn't do these meetings, and after so much time had passed, all you saw was leaks and problems and drama, and at that point, you no longer want to sit at that table. And I'm going to read a quote to you because I think this is a very, very good quote. I apply it in real life, and this is one of my favorites that I like, but I genuinely believe this is a good one. God has removed you from a table where you used to sit in order to save you from a host who was serving you poison. Ladies and gentlemen, surround yourself with people who are like-minded and good people. And at the end of the day, when you sit with the right people, you do the right things. And that is the best parts of life. I think what we've seen from AEW was nobody wanted to sit down and save you from the poison. They were the poison.
They were the poison.
And AEW, that's where they screwed up. And that was the difference between them and WWE.
I have no argument to that. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I mean, WWE has done just a great job overall with this whole storyline between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. You don't know where the lines are so blurred here.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful nature of pro wrestling. Before, like, let's just take away from AEW for a minute and let's just talk strictly about the story itself.
Yeah.
WWE has done a phenomenal job at telling this story. Just again, going back to the hatred between these two. And just playing into that WWE without any criticism needs to be credited here that they are doing this good of a job.
Yeah.
And they should be credited for this. This is one of those, to me at least, this is one of those stories that is really going to go down that we're going to look back in 15 years, 20 years time where we're like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. You know,
what's also really cool, too, that nobody seems to be talking about is Seth Rollins is laying the blueprint for Roman. So Seth Rollins very well could be outshined by Roman because Seth went pretty damn deep, but Roman's going to go deeper. So if people thought Seth Rollins and CM Punk was good, imagine how good it's going to be when Roman brings up the fact that CM Punk talked a lot of shit about Roman Reigns 10 years ago being the face of the company. So there is a lot of excitement for me when I see, okay, they're just scratching the surface, right?
It's still so new.
And that's the beauty of it. WWE did not just, oh, wow, everybody hates CM Punk. Here you go. This is it, right? Here you go. No, WWE plants the seeds. They tease a little bit. They just give you a little bit and then have you begging for a little bit more. And then once you beg for a little bit more, WWE slowly pulls out a little bit and they're like, no, sir, you're going to wait for this. You're going to wait.
Yep.
And I think that's the beauty of this kind of storytelling that WWE is doing, because they know, hey, they just gave us a lot with Seth and Punk. They're going to do something now on Raw and Netflix. God knows how they booked the match, but they still haven't given us everything. There's a lot of people that Punk had issues with. And when Punk gets these matchups and when Punk has to really shoot on the mic, wait until he shoots on the mic with Roman. Wait till he shoots on the mic with Roman. And
it's only going to get better.
It's just going to get better and better and better and better. Props to them for making that face-to-face a tremendous success. That was the way to end Raw. And just to be very clear,
the USA Network.
You wanna talk about the last visual you see? It was done on purpose, my friends. CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Really, when it comes to the modern generation of pro wrestling in WWE on USA Network with Raw, some of the best moments on Raw that have ever happened include Seth Rollins or CM Punk. And to see them face to face to end that era is huge. And now we're going to go into a new era with Netflix where, God, I have no idea what to expect.
I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know where they're going to take this show. I don't even know how they're going to handle it. I did watch the football games, and those were much better than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
So watching the football games gave me a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Because obviously football was, it was viewed by so many people.
Yeah.
So I think they got that problem solved.
I think WWE Raw will have the highest viewership they've ever had on a TV.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. I believe so too.
Yeah.
We are in for a beautiful treat.
Very beautiful treat. Ladies and gentlemen, Raw was good stuff. I'm super excited for next week. We will be live next week following Raw. We'll be live following NXT, and we'll be live following AEW. 2025 is going to be massive, massive, massive. So if you're not subscribed, if you're not a member, if you're not super chatting, if you're not engaged in the chat, if you're not liking the stream, if you're not pulling up to these streams, I promise you guys, you will miss some of the best content that this platform will offer. I can assure you guys that's a promise, because 2025, we're going harder than ever. And just trust me when I tell you guys this, 2025 will be unlike anything you have ever seen on the Ango show. And we got Billy coming along for the ride. Shout out to DRECTube, who just dropped a $2 super chat. Just wait until Owens and Punk happens. My friend, you have no idea. That's inevitable. When it does happen,
we're in for a treat.
It's going to be really, really good. I'm excited about it. So, with that being said, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to call it. It is the last stream of 2024. May all of you guys have a great, great, great New Year's Eve celebration wherever you are in the world. Do not drink and drive. Be safe. Have fun. God bless. Follow Billy at youtube.com/BillyTKO, and follow me at AngoPW. And I'm everywhere. He's everywhere. We're everywhere. And we are out.
See ya.